Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Let's get right into the video. So today we're going to be talking about the Asvab, my Asvab experience, what to study, how you can get a good score for those of you who want to join the military, and all that jazz. So my Asvab experience was definitely my fault, okay? So what is the Asvab? An Asvab, in the simplest explanation, is a test to see how smart you are and see what you're good at, what you could be good at for the military jobs that they do have to offer depending on what branch you're trying to join in. So you have all these different sections. People say it's like basic math, reading, for those of you who've ever taken the SATs, like SAT words that you have to know, different math problems, mechanical questions, like if you're good at working on mechanical things like cars and like auto parts, they ask you like if you're good at administration, electrical, mechanical, and like general things. That's what the test is about. So yeah, and the scoring is a little confusing. So I think it's out of 99. Like you can get a score out of like either the lowest is like 1 or like failing. I guess failing is like 1, but it's not like your typical grading. Like in school, if you got like a 55, you failed. But you can't. It's really hard to explain, but. And depending on your branch is how they can score, like how good your score is depending on your branch. So as you see, I'm trying to join the Air Force. So the first time I went, so when I first decided that I was going to join, I was 19 years old. Now I'm 21, so I was playing around, okay? So I knew I had to study for a test. First of all, my first recruiter, he was just like, okay, study for the test, blah, 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 blah. And I had, the book Asvab for Dummies. I got the book Asvab for Dummies, and let me tell y'all, I was playing around. Okay, like I would like just read through the book. I wasn't really studying. I would just like skim through the book, and I was just playing games. So when I went to go take my Asvab, first of all, I was so nervous. My stomach was hurting so bad because I was like so scared. And so we went into MEPS. MEPS is like the military interest in processing, whatchamacallit thing. So you go there, mine is in the Baltimore MEP station. So I came in, and when I first came in, I was confused because I think people were shipping out, people were swearing in. It was a whole bunch of ruckus going on. So I'm like, okay, I don't know what to do. So they had you put your belongings inside this big old room, like full of everybody's belongings and personal items and stuff like that. So you had to put your phone away, you had all your electronics, and if you had stayed in a hotel the night before, your bags went into that room. So I put my stuff in the room, and you have to check in at the front desk, tell them what you're there for. They're going to send you back, I think, to your liaison. Depending on your branch, that's the person who helps you with like jobs and stuff like that. And they help you like with their name tag and all that stuff. So after that, I went to the liaison, got my little name tag. I think I went back up into the front, and then they told me to wait until they're calling for all the Asvab testers and stuff like that. So after that, I went to, first of all, you had to take fingerprints, you had to take a picture, and after that, you were placed into this room with a bunch of with some computers, and you sat there and took the test. Now the test can range between 2 to 3 hours depending on how fast you can take the test. I think I was there for like 2 hours. But anyways, so when I was done with my test, I went up to the guy, and he gives you like an envelope with your score in it, and he says like, good luck. Pretty much like, okay. So I'm not sure what the minimal score is for the Air Force. I'm not even sure. I looked on Google, and it always varies. Like they say 40 something sometimes it says 50 something. So hey, I don't know, but you can always Google it, okay? Funny thing happened to me. So the guy gave me my envelope. He was like, good luck, and I was like, okay. So I opened up my envelope, and it was like a 20 something. By the way, that's failing in the Air Force. You really can't get nothing. You can't get anything with that. So yeah, you have to retake it. Anyway, so it said 20 something, and my heart dropped. I'm like, dang. First of all, I don't know how I was surprised that I failed or that I didn't qualify with my test score. When 1, I didn't even study like I was supposed to. 2, I was not serious about studying. And 3, I just did not study like I was supposed to. So anyways, I'm like, dang, like that's how it is. Like in my head, I'm just like, dang, I'm so stupid. That's what I thought. I'm like, dang, I'm so dumb. So anyways, I went to my liaison, First of all, I went to the front desk. Okay, so at this point, I was ready to go home. I'm like, I'm done. I'm so tired of it. I went to the lady in the front desk, and she had directed me because I wanted to make a phone call. By the way, the MEP station has like literally no service. So, I mean, it's barely any service. Okay, so she directed me to go back to my liaison, which is the Air Force liaison, and I went to him and I was like, can I use your phone to make a phone call? He was like, sure. And so I had called my mom, I think, and I was like, yeah, I failed, stuff like that. And she's like, how did you fail? I'm like, girl, I don't know. Anyways, so after I was done like saying, oh, I failed the test, I realized that my social security number on the top was not mine. So I'm like, I have a chance here. I have a chance. So I told the liaison, I was like, hey, this is not my social security number. I think I had the wrong score. And he's like, okay, well, let me look it up for you. And then he asked me my social, I think. He had asked me something. Just typed in the computer. And then my score popped up, which was a 35. Still failing, by the way. But the liaison had reassured me that this is a passing score. So I'm like excited now. And he was like, yeah, you can call your mom, or he said you can call them back and say you passed the test. So I was like, cool. So I called my mom back. I was like, yeah, I passed the test and stuff like that. I was really excited and stuff. But little did I know. Anyways, so after that, I had told my recruiter that I told him everything and stuff like that. But I was overweight for my height. I was 148 and I needed to be, my max weight was 145. So he wanted me to lose some weight and I had to be like down to like 130 something like that. So in the meantime, I'm like trying to I was kind of trying to work out, but I was doing different methods to lose weight, and I ended up losing the weight or whatever. So that's what I got this phone call from some other recruiter, not the one I had, but somebody else, and was like, hey, your recruiter is no longer your recruiter. Something happened to him. He couldn't disclose that information with me because I'm like, okay, so what happened to him? He's like, I can't tell you all that. I'm like, you really can't get fired from the Air Force, but you can get like dishonorably just discharged. I don't know how it works, but I don't know what happened to my first recruiter. Never heard from him again. Never seen him ever again. So I don't know what happened to that man. But my second recruiter, he was like, yeah, you failed the test. And I'm like, what? The liaison told me I passed, and he's like, no, you can't do nothing with the score. He was like, you need to study mechanical and you need to study I think electrical or something like those. And I'm just like, okay, whatever. Like, he was so frustrated, and I forgive him, but I'm like, I can't do this. I'm so tired. I was like, I'm not done with the station no more. I'm gonna just call somebody else from a different recruiting station and I'm gonna see what they can do for me. So I ended up calling a different recruiting station, and I got in contact with my third recruiter, and I was like, hey, I told him the whole rundown. Like, I told him everything that happened, and I'm like, okay, I lost the weight. Now, can I just retake my test? And this recruiter actually did a really good job of like motivating you to really want to excel, because he's like, so if you don't, well, I don't want to say fail, but if you don't get the score required for your branch the first time, I think you have to wait 30 days, which is a month. So you have to wait a month. And then if you fail it again, then you have to wait, I think, 2 months. I think, but you can always Google it. But anyways, you have to wait longer. Every time you fail it, you have to wait longer. And I'm not trying to do it like wait again, because I've been waiting now for like 2 years. Okay. So anyways, I talked to him and he was like, okay, if you don't pass this, you're gonna have to wait. I think it was 60 days. I'm not quite sure, but he was like, yeah, you're gonna have to wait. And I'm like, I'm not trying to do that. So he was like really pushing me to really try to get a better score than what I did get, because it's like now or never. Okay. So I studied. When I say I studied, I was very serious this time. I took my Asvab for Dummy book. And I was like, and first of all, that's a really, really good book. I recommend that to anybody that's trying to study for the Asvab. Get Asvab for Dummies. It tells you literally almost everything that you need. I wrote down flashcards. I wrote down different like car parts. Even though I didn't really want to excel in mechanical, I was like, forget it. I'm gonna just try to do good in every section. At this point, I'm just like, I'm gonna just try to do good. I'm gonna try to do good in every section, I don't care. So I was looking at everything. I'm trying to memorize everything. And that's the thing about the ASVAB. You can memorize different things, but that doesn't mean that's going to be on the test. So you have to just know a general concept of different things. Like, that's the only thing about the ASVAB. You can memorize things, but if you don't, like, it's not, everything that you study is not going to be on the test. So just be mindful of that. But what I will say is study basic math formulas. Basic, like when I say basic, I think algebra 1 or 2. Basic math formulas. You know, if you have that down pat, then you should be good in math section. If you're good with SAT words, I mean, that's the thing about the wording, like word knowledge. You're not gonna, like, if you don't try to study every word, because every word you see is not gonna be on the test. Instead, I'll say try to study like different word parts. That I did get some Asvab apps that I regretted getting because I feel like they didn't really help me out that much. But hey, to each his own. I would say look up different math problems, take different practice Asvab tests to get a feel of how it's going to be for the actual test. So yeah, that's what I'll say. But anyways, my second attempt for the Asvab, I went back to the same MEP station in Baltimore, and my second time taking the ASVAB, it was so chill. Like, it was not busy. It was like chill up in there. I'm like, okay, I'm feeling this. It was really simple my second time. So I went in there. I'm like, okay, God, I was praying. I'm like, Lord, please let me pass. Let me remember everything I studied. Like, I'm praying, like, God, please. I wasn't as nervous, but I'm just like, okay, I have to do better. Like, I have no other option. So I took the test, and this time around, it was way easier. Like, I don't know, maybe it's because I actually studied that it was a lot easier for me. But it wasn't like so easy, like a breeze. Like, I got this. It was so, okay, God, like, I'm gonna need help with every answer. Word knowledge this time for me was very easy. I don't know why. I'm like, thank you, Jesus, for it. But word knowledge was very easy for me. Like, majority of the words I knew. And not even because I had studied for the word knowledge. I feel like you really can't study for the word knowledge. Don't quote me on that because I feel like you can. But for me, it was like impossible because I'm like, I don't know what words are going to be on the word knowledge. It's either you know it or you don't know it. Or if you can like try to put it in a sentence. I don't know. But I think they did have questions like, put this word in a sentence. How can you use it? So I think that's what they had. It's been like, I took it last year. So I can't really remember every little thing on the test. But I know word knowledge was really easy. And I'm pretty decent when it comes to words. Pretty decent. So it wasn't that bad for me. Math, I'm just not good at math. I've never been good at math. Ever. Okay? From elementary school all the way to high school, I sucked in it. And I don't know. So study your math formulas. I'll say that. After that, I was done with the test. I went up to the guy that gets the envelope and stuff like that. So I was sitting there, I'm like, okay, Lord, like, can I pass this time? I'm not trying to come back a third time. Like, so after that, I heard the man say, oh, good improvement, or nice improvement, or something like that. And I'm like, God, please let that be my paper. Please let that be my score because I really need this. So afterwards, I got my score and I opened it. It was a 49. Yeah, it was 49, which to me, I'm like, this is still terrible. Like, to me, I'm like, when I think of Air Force scores, I think of like a 70, a 60, you know, maybe like a 50 something. You're well off on your way. When I think of 49, I'm like, you still failed. But I had to text my recruiter. I was like, I got 49. He was like, great. Because he was like, if you score, he gave me like the range of scores. He was like, if you score between this, your line scores can maybe like push you through. What is the line score? Not quite sure. You can Google it though. But that's what he says. I'm like, okay, great. According to him, it was a really good score. So I'm like, fine. So after that, I think I used my liaison's phone to call my ride. I think. But anyways, I got my ride. My head was hurting so bad when I left because I was trying to concentrate so hard on the test. My head was killing me. I'm like, thank God I passed because I was not trying to come back. So yeah, that was my Asvab experience. I will get to y'all about my MEPS experience possibly in the next video because my MEPS experience, it wasn't as bad as a lot of people say on YouTube. Thank y'all for tuning in and I'll see y'all next time.